George, you're on the Larry Otis Show. Thank you so much for calling.
Larry, thanks for taking my call. I've got a comment, kind of a question for you. So, he gave him this blanket pardon, and I'm wondering if this blanket pardon covers all the time that's, elapsed on that laptop, because, we've heard the rumors. You probably know better than I do, but, there were some other crimes that were accused of, are rumored for him on that laptop. Videos of him with women, possibly, underage girls. So if there's victims like that, I'm not saying there is, but if there is, this pardon also, covers that, right?
I think it does. I think that's one of the reasons it was issued so broadly.
Because, and all I've heard about is the financial crimes, the possible money laundering, the Burisma stuff. And I just have a comment, and I want to get your opinion on this as well. So, I'm enjoying watching Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, seemingly burn the party down on their way out the door. But doesn't he burn a significant amount of whatever political capital the party has left by pardoning himself? And if he doesn't pardon himself, and let's say they do go after him, I mean, Larry, can't he just plead, I'm old, I'm senile? I mean,
right.
Are they really going to go after him? And my question to you is, which is worse, the political capital lost for the party, by him pardoning himself, or by them just charging him or saying, he did these things, he did those things, but in my opinion, he can just plead, I'm an old man, I'm senile, and I don't think they're going to charge him anyway. So I'd like your opinion on that.
Well, George, I think everything you said is exactly why he didn't pardon himself and his family right then and there. Are they going to really go after somebody who's in his 80s, about whom the special counsel said he's an elderly man with a poor memory? Are they really going to try and throw me in jail, or will it look like an act of political vendetta? On the other hand, what about my brother Jim? Am I going to leave him twisting in the wind? So many people, including people like Comer, the head of the House Oversight Committee, talked about the millions and millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars that the Biden so-called crime family pocketed, and the possibility of my brother being hung out to dry is something that I cannot handle. So I think that what Joe Biden is going to do, even though he'll take political blow for it, it'll tarnish the image of his party even further, is he's going to pardon himself, and he's going to pardon everybody else in his family. And the excuse will be this one. I've heard this many times on CNN and MSNBC, which I watch, that you don't have to. Well, now that Donald Trump has tried to get people in there like Kash Patel, who's going to do his bidding, and now that Donald Trump said he's going to get his political victims, he's going to put them before a firing squad, well, that's one of the reasons that Joe Biden changed his calculus on Hunter. At first, he was not going to pardon his son, but then after he saw all these mean, nasty, gnarly people that Donald Trump was putting into positions of power for AG and for FBI head, or possibly FBI head at the time, Kash Patel, I don't think had been announced just yet. Yes, he had. Well, around the same time, there certainly were rumors that he was going to be announced. That's the excuse he's going to use. I cannot trust the Trump administration to abide by the law. Donald Trump is a mean, vindictive person. He's going to use the DOJ, the IRS, and various other arms of the government to go after his political enemies. So therefore, I could not leave my family out to dry. That, I believe, is going to be Joe Biden's calculation. And at least a number of people on places like CNN and MSNBC are going to buy into it. So that's, in my opinion, what he's going to do. The only question is, why not do it in one fell swoop? And the answer is, I think he was still debating the same questions that you raised, George. Is Trump really going to go after me after all? He referred to Hillary as a crook, said that during the debate, if I were in charge, you'd be in jail, and then didn't go after her. Maybe, just maybe, he'll do the same thing with me. On the other hand, do you really want to run that risk? So I believe that at some point before the next 60 days or so, Joe Biden is going to pardon himself and the other members of the Biden family.